Across the United States history, 3 presidents have been impeached. Andrew Johnson, after the Civil War, was impeached for violating the Tenure of Office Act. Bill Clinton, in the 1990s, was impeached for perjury about an alleged sex scandal. Richard Nixon, though not officially impeached, resigned shortly before the impeachment trial. None of these presidents were ever convicted by the Senate, although impeachment certainly comes up a lot these days. So with that, welcome to Cohasset Political Society. I'm Andy Tierney. Today I'm joined by Marcus Rowland and John Keenan. We're going to be discussing the possible impeachment of Donald Trump today. Marcus, would you mind informing us on the 3 things that can get a president impeached?
Well, lying under oath is one of them, so perjury. General incompetence is the second, of which Trump, I believe, displays much. John, what do you think about that? No?
I don't want a president doing anything, so.
I got it. The official wording in the Constitution
it's
is
general incompetency.
It's bribery, treason, and high crimes and misdemeanors.
Which is incompetency.
Yes, which Congress has in the past taken to mean whatever Congress decides.
Yes. Well, that is Congress for you.
Yes. John, as our resident Trump supporter, you must be rather uncomfortable by this talk of impeachment.
I wouldn't say so. I mean, if
the man you wanted to become president, you're okay with being impeached now.
I'm not going to defend someone if they break the law. If he is found to have broken the law, then he should be impeached. But the fact is,
it's the most sensible thing you've ever said in your entire life.
But the fact is, there's no law that they can prove that he's broken.
With the Russians to get elected.
See, the problem with that is it's all smoke. There's no flame. It's just Democratic talking points.
Yeah, but if there's smoke, there would have once been flame.
It's pretty much the Democrats' birther movement. That's what the rushing thing is right now.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
No, but what about the whole Comey thing?
The whole Comey firing. This is my theory because we also have no idea what was actually true. I think that
he was investigating the Russian allegations, and now he's gone.
And the investigation is still going on. I think Trump just didn't like Comey, so he fired him. And
he praised Comey 2 weeks prior.
He praised him because he was one of the reasons why Trump got elected. But then Comey wouldn't go out there and say that Trump is not being personally investigated while he's on the news all the time.
No FBI director would ever do that because it's a conflict of interest.
See, but that's the problem. He keeps going out there and talking to the press when he shouldn't be, and he keeps making up issues that aren't really there.
Well, I think a lot of it comes from the fact that the White House press office told the reporters that it was for mishandling the Hillary Clinton investigation, while the president told Lester Holt of CNN or wherever he is that he fired Comey for mishandling the Russian investigation.
That is right. The people in the White House press briefing team have the worst job in the world. Yeah, they get no notice, and they're supposed to come up with reasons. And then Trump goes and does an interview 2 days later and blows all their credibility.
Yeah, but they're supposed to talk to each other and agree on the reasons why the FBI director was let go.
Yeah, but that didn't happen.
Yeah, but then...
No, I'm not saying that they handled this good. This is terrible how they're handling it. But I think that they can still pull out the win in this whole thing if they appoint a Merrick Garland. If they appoint Merrick Garland for FBI director, someone like him.
Mitch McConnell, as speaking of Merrick Garland, actually submitted his name as FBI director. It's rather
ironic,
I thought.
Does he have any credibility for such a position?
Mitch McConnell?
Yes.
He's the Senate Majority Leader.
Yes, but is he on the Senate
That's
Intelligence
his job.
Committee?
Is he on the Senate Intelligence Committee? No.
Then he is no real... Was he an FBI agent?
Or maybe he is. I couldn't speak to that.
I don't think he is.
Okay. Well...
But his name is being thrown out there. I think what they need to do is they need to get someone who is well respected by both sides of the aisle.
Who is well respected by both sides of the aisle?
Well, James Comey is.
No, he's not.
No, he's not. He's hated by the Republicans now.
He's hated by the Republicans, and then he's also hated by the Democrats because he wrote that letter to Congress. James Comey, I think he was a man who tried to stay out of politics as much as possible, but got dragged into it, and he couldn't handle the fire. So both sides wanted him ousted. I think that's one of the bigger hypocrisies that's going on right now on Capitol Hill is Chuck Schumer is going out there and saying it's a huge catastrophe that Trump would fire Comey when 2 weeks ago he was saying he should be fired. I think lots of Democrats are doing that, and I don't think it's right.
We agree on one thing: most politicians are hypocrites, and they'll say whatever they need to say to keep.
Yeah, I will.
I can agree with that too.
I could agree with that, but I'm saying that I don't like when politicians go out there from a moral authority when they were saying the exact opposite thing 2 weeks ago.
I don't know, man. I think some of that's okay.
I mean,
No.
there's a lot of red team, blue team going on.
Yeah.
Oh, that's terrible. That's just how you get into like government.
A lot of
efficiencies and
tribalism.
Not doing anything.
Yeah, there's a lot of discussion on social media of whatever Trump does is bad, or whatever the Democrats say is bad.
Yeah, with no real base in fact or.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Well, actually, we don't even agree on the facts at this point
Yeah. Well,
because they're all alternative.
speaking of facts, if Trump were to be impeached, there would have to be some solid evidence against him. Marcus, has he, in your opinion, committed bribery, treason, or high crime?
We don't know because he let go of Comey.
No, that's not true. Comey was just getting briefings. He's not the person doing investigation. The FBI right now is still continuing the investigation. It's just they don't have someone to go and report it to.
Spicer or whoever
Well, there's
this is.
the deputy.
Yeah, there is a deputy,
Director.
but I meant like an official figurehead.
The U.S. press secretary came out and said that we believe that this will speed along the investigation. I think that points to
Okay, you're
trying
talking
to-
about Sean Spicer here. Let's be real.
Then why does he keep Sean Spicer if he's so?
I've actually heard he might. It's been talked now that Sean Spicer is going to be ousted next. So
So who is he
It's
going
lonely
to?
at the top.
Well, if he can stay at the top, yes. But
That's a.
I don't know. I think the problem right now is there's so much conjecture, not a lot of hard facts.
well, there are no facts because they're all alternative or fake or some other thing because nobody can agree on them.
That's exactly right.
So like, what do we like? How do we have a legitimate debate between parties at this point?
You don't.
What do we just have government shutdown? Is that your proposal?
Sure.
I think if,
That'd be amazing.
If there are other parties allowed into the political dialogue,
They are allowed. They just have to get people to elect them.
I mean, there's
Alaska
a lot,
has an independent governor.
there's a lot that goes into
There are
the
two
mathematics of first past the post that prevent third
that
parties
is, I agree completely.
from gaining any traction.
But like, there's no law that stops libertarians from getting votes. It's just they have to get a candidate who doesn't stick his tongue out and forget about major political crises in the world.
Yes. What is Aleppo, Marcus?
It's I'm forgetting here. I don't remember.
Now, though we did have some candidates this election from the major parties that said some questionable things about inappropriately touching women.
You mean Donald Trump said those things?
Perhaps.
Because I don't remember anybody else being coming out and saying he's a sexual harasser and a rapist, more or less.
Well, yeah, but Donald Trump, I think we can all agree, has said some very questionable things. But bringing back to our main point, has he done treason, bribery, or high crimes and misdemeanors?
High crimes. Well, isn't raping someone a high crime or misdemeanor? Or do you have to be
It's
within?
not actually.
And also,
Does it have to be when he's in the office, or does it have to be?
and also,
before?
he hasn't.
It's not defined in the Constitution.
Is anything defined in the Constitution of
Yeah.
relevance to this point?
Yes.
Because
What's defined in the Constitution?
because
is that it
last
has to
time I
be
checked, high crime or misdemeanor with Bill Clinton was like
perjury.
he
lied under
oath, but
Yeah.
that was the most ridiculous lying under oath ever.
It's still lying under oath. If they didn't impeach him, it would have set a standard that you could lie
That's
under
true.
oath, which
I can concede
would be
that.
unacceptable.
But if they did impeach him, it would have set a precedent that democratically elected leaders could be removed from office based on the whim of midterm elections and whatnot.
They can be. That's in our Constitution.
Yeah, and I mean, the VP would have been president. So whoever, I don't know who he was.
Al Gore.
Al Gore, yeah.
Al Gore,
oh
yes.
my, that guy.
Yeah, he invented the internet. Did you know? For those of you my age, Al Gore was misquoted saying that he invented the internet, and it's since become a running joke among political commentators. So, where were we?
Discussing when Trump gets impeached.
Well, no, there are no charges.
Well,
First of all, even if he did,
the Russian investigation.
okay, no, you're wrong because that's not a thing. First
It's
of all,
not a thing. They're actively investigating.
no, I'm saying there's no collusion. So
We
that's
don't know
fine.
because the investigation is yet.
See, the thing here's what the thing is.
You want to look at Russia?
I think it's looking at China because China.
Yeah.
The reason why there's a whole Russian conspiracy going on is because Trump, when he first announced his candidacy, people didn't take him seriously.
Do
So
people still taking him seriously?
yes, he's the president.
He is the president of the United
So-
States.
I don't take him any more seriously
So
now than I did
no, but I'm
before.
talking about in political spheres. So Trump had to hire a bunch of B-rated political advisors and stuff. People like Roger Stone.
He's a billionaire.
He also
Exactly.
helped
That's why he
Flynn.
hired them. They wouldn't go work for them. They
He
were
also helped
working
Richard Nixon
for Jeb
win
Bush.
A what was it, like 70% landslide in 1972? 60%? It's huge.
Yeah. But I'm saying he wasn't as big as a relevance. And also, the whole Michael Flynn thing, I think that's another big reason why the whole Russian talks are going on.
Well, he's let
because
go the 3 people who were involved in the Russian investigation.
which should be
Does
a
that
good
not
thing.
look suspicious to you? The people that are
Are
actively...
you saying Michael Flynn should not have been ousted?
No, but I think that letting go the 3 people who were investigating a charge against you looks suspicious.
I don't think it does because I don't think the reason why Comey was fired was because of the Russia thing. I think it was just
I
because
think it was directly related to
no,
the
I think it was
Russians.
because Trump just didn't like Comey because Comey
Why
wouldn't
do you
go out
think
there
He didn't like Comey.
because Comey would talk to Trump in private and say you're not under investigation, and he would then go.
That's highly irregular anyway.
Speaking of talking to Trump, what are these tapes that Trump allegedly has about Comey?
Oh, yeah, 'cause
Oh,
everything.
it's conjecture. It's
They don't
his
exist.
Twitter. Okay, we don't talk about his Twitter.
He's still the president when he's on Twitter, John.
No, I know he is, but it's like I don't. You can't
Probably
get.
also
You can't
on the
get.
toilet.
That's true.
You cannot get anything credible. I think it was Trump's trying to threaten
Comey.
Comey for some reason.
So we have to let go of half of all that we know about Donald Trump.
No,
That was also his main way of campaigning. Was
what I'm
through
saying
Twitter.
is, okay, I think most of this whole Russian investigation things will get cleared up when Comey goes on Capitol Hill and talks to Congress.
Or it'll come all undone. For
Or
Trump,
the investigation.
And he'll be impeached.
Yeah, if he gets impeached because of Russian and he can collude with it, he should.
And then we
But,
have Mike Pence.
but the fact is that it's mainly just a Democratic talking point at this point. There's a lot of smoke and no fire.
You don't like Mike Pence?
I think it'd be worse for the Democrats than Trump is, because Trump's manipulative.
Or would he be worse for the Americans?
He'd be truthful and honest, as much as a politician can be.
Sounds like a ringing endorsement from our friend Mr. Rowland.
I wouldn't say that much. I'd say he'd be truthful and honest about his beliefs, but those aren't my beliefs.
John, I mean, on the off chance that the president does get impeached,
I would support Mike Pence. I mean,
Of course you would.
I think Mike
Donald
Pence.
Trump's VP.
Yeah, but Mike Pence, I think he is politically honest. I think that he has ideals, and I think that's why one of the main reasons why Trump is struggling so much right now is because he doesn't have ideals, and he doesn't have like a world view to back any of his decisions. That's why during the campaign he would say, "We're not going anywhere near Syria," and then as he's president, he's bombing Syria.
well, wasn't his campaign America First?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, Donald Trump lied extensively on his campaign about it. When he
No, I
actually
think-
gonna do
I
as
think-
president.
Trump
I will
is
not
right now trying to
travel or play
perfect.
golf at all. Hasn't been in Mar-a-Lago on an
Yeah, I mean, he is playing a lot of golf. I think that of Obama, that was one of the stupider talking points. It's like
Like, what was that whole thing?
it was, they were just mad that he was golfing all the time.
Donald Trump has spent more time golfing in his first term or first year as president than any other president.
Yeah, it's
Here's the difference, though. Trump uses it as a diplomatic tool. Him and Xi Jinping.
No, I'm sorry. That's the most ridiculous excuse I've ever heard.
I'm not making an excuse.
Let's
Making
play
a joke.
golf because it's a completely acceptable way to negotiate treaties between countries.
Yeah, certainly. Well, we did see some results there. I don't mean to get off topic, but North Korea seems to have been surprisingly quiet after that.
and we also have a new trade deal.
Did we?
Yeah.
I thought we were against trade, weren't we?
Yeah, aren't
No, we were for
America
better.
first?
We were for better trade deals. I think,
I'm
from what I understand, is now Americans can sell pork and other meat products into the Chinese market, which will
Fantastic.
Yes,
that is a pretty big deal.
Yeah, I assume so.
That will give a major boost to American pork farmers and
Yeah,
in
I
the.
agree, but I
the-
wouldn't say it solves Trump's overlying issue that he was complaining about of
Oh no!
a trade deficit. That's never going to go away because we're now selling pork in mass
Oh
quantity.
no,
to
it's not.
Chinese.
No, it was a first step. I think this was, from what I've heard, is it was a deal to test the waters to see if both sides could be held accountable to work for a better trade deal, and that was just something that was an easy yes or no thing that they could get implemented quickly into
Well, none
law.
of these things are easy yes or no things. We're dealing with whole countries here.
Well, I mean, dealing with countries is something Trump does quite effectively. Russia, for instance.
Oh, you mean
Do
he's a
you-
slave to Putin?
Well, do you think he actually colluded with the Russian government?
I think the releasing of Hillary's emails on WikiLeaks is suspiciously well timed with Trump's low points in the campaign.
But did Trump have anything to do with it, or was it all based on?
I think there's
Russian,
some underlying evidence that would point to that.
such as.
The whole Michael Flynn, the discussions he had with the Russians. Was that Flynn?
that was
Was-
no.
it
He
was
was
Michael
fired
Flynn, yes.
because Michael Flynn was fired because he talked about sanctions while he was on the
Yes,
transition
yes,
team and
that's
not.
right. But I'd say that would be colluding with the Russians because he discussed future American policy.
That's why he was ousted.
Yes, exactly. But if
But the fact is
if
that was
Trump-
after the
if
campaign.
Trump knew about that.
He didn't know about that. That was the whole reason why he was fired. He lied to Mike Pence about it.
Yeah, but we don't know if he lied to Mike Pence.
Yes, we do. That's the whole reason why he was ousted.
Would you completely trust everyone in the administration not to just use him as a patsy and like move him along, and to keep everyone else secure?
I don't think there's any evidence to support what you're saying. I think is what we know, which is proven to be all but true, is that Mike Pence was lied to by Flynn, and that was the reason why he was ousted.
Well, whatever the case is, it's madness and chaos.
Well, I think a lot of the a lot of it comes from the new Russian method of
What you mean?
warfare and
Turning the United
politics.
States president into a puppet for the Putin regime?
Well,
Okay, Marcus.
I don't think there's any solid evidence from that, so I'm going to go based on the testimony of James Watts, who's a analyst from the Intelligence Committee, and he testified before the Senate Intelligence Committee, and he said that the Russians specifically, fabricate fake news stories to try and influence elections, and hacks, certain databases to try and get candidates that they want, or that have a better, more
Yes.
pro-Russia position onto, higher office and try and destabilize
Well, isn't that
organizations like NATO.
isn't that concerning enough that the Russians, a foreign nation, tried to get somebody elected who got elected?
Yes, but
Doesn't that tell you something about the man
the
who's
question
president?
for impeachment, though, is did Trump have anything to do with it, or was it just Trump's views
We
that
need
he
to-
very publicly expressed that influenced, our big friends over there?
Which came first, the chicken or the egg?
Yes, which did come first, the chicken or the egg? I think I think Putin, The Economist said it best. They compared this journalist in the 1930s to Trump, and he's a big fan of, he's kind of a fan of Benito Mussolini, right? And then Benito Mussolini, casually makes a comment, and he says, I think that journalist, he's not that bad. And the journalist says, the journalist suddenly becomes a fanatical supporter of Mussolini.
Oh,
and
yes.
the Economist compared that. Putin made a friendly comment about the Trump campaign, and and Trump, picked it up and he blew it out of the water, and he said, Russia's going to be our friend.
I don't think it was that. I think it was that during the campaign, a bunch of Republicans who were running against him told him to go out there and denounce Vladimir Putin after Putin just complimented him, which I think was just a stupid thing for them to criticize Trump over because Vladimir Putin liked him. I think Trump saw it as, okay, they're going to blow this out of proportion, so I might as well make it a yes or no kind of thing.
Putin was clearly pandering
I'm not
to
saying
Trump's
that,
ego
but
to manipulate.
No,
They're
Putin
both
was
very
100%
people,
supporting Trump, but I mean, I think it's not fair to say that Trump was the only one who had outside influences. I mean, Hillary Clinton, during the campaign, she did receive money from the Saudis and other Middle Eastern countries. So I don't think it's fair to say, oh, Trump did this, because I guarantee you that if Hillary was elected, no one would be talking about how she had received money from Middle Eastern oil countries.
No, I bet you we would. I bet you'd be.
I bet-
Well, regardless,
No,
I think
I-
we're going to hear about this Trump-Russia thing a lot in the future. Why don't we wrap it up by saying, why don't we give odds on Trump impeachment?
Well, I mean,
John, why don't you go first? Sorry to cut you off, Marcus.
I'll give it 3%.
3% odds?
Yeah.
So you're very confident that the president's going to stay the president?
Yes.
Okay. Marcus?
Using the betting numbers out of Las Vegas, I'm going to say it's a 50-50.
Well, certainly be interesting to watch. And if it does happen, we'll be here to keep you informed. Thanks for tuning in to the Cohasset Political Society. I'm Andy Tierney, and good night.